Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are at this time watching this video. I promised you that I'll do um, a video to explain more about the moon and the moon phases because a lot of people, we're all talking about the eclipse that's coming up on the 16th and all of that. And people are just, kind of wondering what's all of this about and why should we take notice, okay? Now, like I explained before, and I've been doing this since like 2018 on the gram, on Instagram. That is when I came on Instagram. Of course, we've been doing all of this before this time. So that's not even, it's not like it's a new thing in the world, anywhere in the world. Uh, Acknowledging the moon is not a new thing anywhere in the world because the moon was created by the God of creation. And if you go into the Bible, it talks about the moon is what God puts in the sky as a faithful witness. It is the moon that is in charge of seasons, okay? The moon is the one in charge of time, counting time, okay? That's why you have months. Month is actually from the word moon. The moon is in charge of the tides of the sea, and it affects the earth a great deal. Now, we're not trying to put down the sun. The sun is also very important, but in terms of um, energy effects, okay, we need to take full notice of the moon. Now, let's talk about the moon phases. There are really four major moon phases, okay, even though you can split them to eight, but let's talk about the four major moon phases. We have the new moon, we have the waxing moon, we have the full moon, and we have the waning moon. Now, the new moon is when the moon is just starting its cycle. So it's usually the start of a month. The new moon day is actually the beginning of a new month. Okay, so regardless of whatever you have on your calendar, now let me just chip this in right here. The calendar that we're using right now is based on the solar system. Okay, it's based on the sun, which is not actually the way it's supposed to be, based on the Bible. The Bible talks about counting the days and the time, the season by the moon. Even in Islam, it's counted by the moon. Okay, in the Middle East, the counting is done by the moon. So the new moon is actually supposed to be the very first day of a new month. So if you have like a May 1st or whatever, and it's not a new moon, then it's actually because we're using the solar calendar, we're using the solar cycle in our calendars these days. Okay, but the new moon is actually the new month according to the Bible. It's the beginning, the head, the start of the cycle. The cycle of a month is actually 28 days, really. It's actually 28 days. So you see that because we are using the solar cycle, we have some months that have 28, some have 30, like that, like that. No, the standard is supposed to be 28, which is why you see, because the moon also influences a woman's cycle, which is why you see a woman's average cycle is 28 days. But let's move on. Let's go to something else, okay? So the moon is mentioned a lot in the Bible, and the new moon is the start of uh of a month. Now we have the next one, the waxing moon. When the moon starts the journey and is growing and growing and growing, we call that phase the waxing phase. Okay, it grows and grows and grows, and the next thing it enters into the full moon, where you can see it so full, so round, so full of light. That is the full moon, the third phase. Then later, because it's going back to go and start again, it starts to go down and down and down and down. And that is what we call the waning phase. Now, we can talk about the spiritual implication of all of this, but that's for another class. In that class, we will have to pay to access it, to know what to do on the new moon, the waning moon, the waxing moon, the full moon, and all the other phases. We all have so many things about the moon. We have the super full moon, we have the gibbous moon, we have the cardinal moon. So we have a lot of things to talk about when it comes to the moon, but this is just a basic class for us to understand free of charge. Am I not a nice person? I'm nice now. So those are the major four phases of the moon. What can we talk? What can we say about the lunar eclipse? That is the major reason I'm doing this. The lunar eclipse is the time when the moon is covered, basically. the moon is covered, so we will not see the moon. Now, this May 16, 2022, that's coming up, that May 16 is meant to be a full moon. The moon is meant to be showing. It's meant to be looking full and bright, but unfortunately, quote and unquote, it's gonna be covered. Okay, it's not be seen at all. What does the Bible even say about such a time? The Bible talks about a time when the moon shall be turned to blood. It talks about that a lot, and that is actually an eclipse time. Okay, when the Bible says the moon shall be turned to blood, it means that the moon will be eclipsed, it will be covered, because you will see here in Africa too, we're going to observe it. All over the world, we'll observe exactly how the moon will be affected. It's a very beautiful time, nonetheless. But I will tell you some things that you must take note of. Okay, so do not think that it's not mentioned in the Bible. It is. The new moon, the full moon, they are all mentioned in the Bible. So this is not about moon worship. This is about we are being cognizant, and we are being intentional about the things that God has created in this world. Okay, so what should we be doing on that lunar eclipse? The very first thing that you should do, please light a candle. Okay, light a candle, because that time is a time of darkness. And the people who are on the other side, they like to do things in the shadows. According to my people, they'll say orula and sheka. That means you do evil under the cover of darkness, under the cover of the night. So it's a time when a lot of stuff is going to be going on that other side. They are going to be doing a lot of things under the shadows. However, for those who are on the side, the right side, we also need to be thinking about transforming our lives, about releasing certain things. It's a good time for us to also go under the canopy of God, do our protection work, do our cleansing. You should even, if you have anybody you're angry with, forgive the person in this season of the eclipse. Let it go, let it all go, let all that negative energy go. Okay, women are going to be affected in this way. Women, we need to do a work for ourselves, a prayer for ourselves, for us to be seen and perceived as the flower that we are. Okay, this time is going to be very important for women. Women are really, really affected in terms of who they are. The entirety of the femininity of a woman, entirety is affected by this eclipse. We need to do certain work to boost that aspect of our lives that makes us like a flower, so beautiful, that we are perceived by people as beautiful, because in this time there's a veil over that aspect. Men are also affected in terms of the fact that men cannot really do certain things in this period. So everything like a new project, a new business, a new transaction, please don't do it in this time. This is not a very good time to do it. The energies are not right at this time. Okay, so at this point in time, I'm just gonna tell us one or two things. Of course, in the Bible, we know that God made the moon. It counts it talks about in Jeremiah that it's the moon that has a fixed order at night, and so on and so forth. So the moon is very important in our lives, really. And don't forget, like I explained to you, there are four major phases: the new moon, the waxing, the full moon, and the waning. And there are things that they are used for spiritually. And the eclipse is a time when the sun is totally blocking out the moon from shining upon the earth in its normal natural way. So this is just what I wanted to share with you. If you want to join me in my class, please contact me via WhatsApp chat only 090 777 22595, WhatsApp or Telegram, and I'll be able to put you in that class. In that class, we will learn deeper things about how to use these energies. We're not worshiping the moon. I have never, because the Bible says we should not worship the creation. We should worship the creator. So I'm not a moon worshiper, but at the same time, I'm not ignorant of these things. Bible said, I don't want you to be ignorant of spiritual things, right? So all these things are happening all around us. Just take take note of the entire period from May 15 to May 21. Just take note, and you will see how things go. Okay. God bless you. Bye for now. I remain your humble high priestess Erikpemi, also known as Woli Eleha Kata Goddess. Bye for now. Till the next one. See y'all.